House in person. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the January 28th regular meeting.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Visitor comments. Is there anybody that wants to bring anything forward that's not already on the agenda? Hearing none. We'll go to ferry service update. Do you have have you heard anything?
No.
No. The only thing I guess that I just wanted to acknowledge is the email request that we received from Jackie in Lincolnville. Asking for us to ask this, well, I guess it was a little bit unclear, it was sent to the state as well, but basically asking the state for us to consider a new name for the
Yeah.
new ferry, which I think, you know, I personally support. So I don't know kind of formal process wise how people feel about that, but if it's something we want to ask Peter if he could work with them to see what the process for moving forward would be.
So moved. I don't know if it's a motion thing or. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Is there a second for that? Sure. Any further discussions?
I would like to throw the name Jessica Meir out there, just because she's the astronaut.
Could you just clarify? We're not actually voting on the name, we're
No,
just voting
right.
on.
Figuring out what
Yeah.
the process, what the
Okay.
process would be
Right.
for. Yes.
I'm just being cute and subliminally planting the name that I like, so.
I think the SS Melissa Burns.
Oh, no, thank you. We do not need a flaming shipwreck anywhere. We already have me.
The Shay Colin.
Yes,
There we go.
we'll do that one.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and is there any further discussion? To ask Peter to talk with the state about a process. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, excellent.
The only other thing that for a reference to the ferry update, and it's not necessarily a ferry update, we received the email that went from Ken Smith. I just wanted to acknowledge it. I really appreciated the fact that it said
It was gonna be under my correspondence, so that's fine, but I think I gave everybody.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I had forwarded or if he sent it to you all at the same time, but anyway,
Either way,
very nice.
I appreciated the response back, that it was appreciative, and so I just wanted to say thank you to Ken for that.
And I don't know if it's under the heading of ferry update, but I did get the revised draft drawing from Bill Lane at Gartley and Durst. And he is reviewing this with the DOT engineers to make sure that we accepted all their comments. The next thing that will happen is that they will do a survey, which is going to take place sometime in March. And I'm still hopeful that we will off place the spring.
Excellent. All right, nothing else on, anything else on ferry? All right, sea level rise update. I just would flag that our sea level rise committee meeting has been moved to this Friday rather than this Thursday. We're meeting at 11 o'clock. So that I can get your eagles tomorrow. Yeah. So,
Where's that?
the boys play in Augusta tomorrow at 3:30. Yeah, at the Civic Center. Against Vinyl Haven.
All right.
Thursday seems like a funny day. to have
Right?
it on, but I
It
think I
is.
was gonna go like Friday
Yeah.
night to see it, but.
Yeah. Any questions on sea level rise
No.
Or the game.
or the game?
Jess, is there, are we doing a fan bus or anything that you know of, or?
I know that there's are multiple Quicksilvers, I think, to accommodate fans, but I've not heard about a bus.
Okay.
Up Island Public Safety Garage.
Yes. I have,
Put that in here, but.
yeah. Just wrap it right there.
Oh.
Do you need a laser pointer?
No, but can we put that in,
presentation mode.
Was that up here?
Yeah, probably slideshow, go a little more right. One more, click,
That's the chat.
it says slideshow, that's strange.
No, I hit the wrong thing.
There you go. Up just a little bit. There you go.
From current slide. Yeah. Okay,
Wow.
fancy. Okay, so the committee has met. And I wanted to give a thorough update today because there's quite a bit to consider. We're gonna start out with, as of, I talked to Brian on the 9th, and the funds that still are available in the original renovation is 61,558 some cents. And so phase 1, we all know is complete. Phase 2, that's what we're gonna be talking about today in kind of 2A. But there's been a lot of designs, layout that were running the room, tearing out some walls, running the room and stuff. And what the people that we're working with had suggested and presented was shifting that room like 90 degrees, so it's coming, pretty much the way it is today, okay? And what that does is it reduces the cost pretty substantially overall. So the idea is we're gonna demolish the fire chief's office, which is,
The old one.
the old, yeah.
The
old
closet.
one. That's a good
Closet.
point.
Yeah, don't take away my good one.
Okay. The toilet room, and there's an alcove lab area. So if you think about that room, and that she's coming this way, and you walk in and the fire chief's office is here, and there's some other stuff over there. So we're breaking through that, right? All right. The alcove in that lab area is gonna become the temporary kitchen, so the stove and some other minor things are gonna be moved into that area. That's a temporary location. Before we do, all right. So 2A, the new kitchen is really gonna go into what's now the trauma area. I wish I could have a drawing to design here to illustrate this better. But it really straddles kind of 2 and 3, because what the committee is here to recommend is that the training space be completed, meaning this first part. Demolish everything associated with murder. And move the kitchen. Okay, so, and with that, then we can go ahead and we were thinking about, we don't need professional painters. We thought we'd have a painting party with some pizzas and bring people together and, we'll repaint that whole area. Obviously, there's a few, some roof tile or ceiling tiles that need to be done, but for not a lot of money within that budget, we can complete all that. All right. So this approach gives us the opportunity to generate also some more funds needed. Because we haven't gotten the final quotes yet for the construction of some of this new area. So, but we have funds to clean up and make a training area very effective. And both the fire chief and our police chief have agreed, they're all in unison on that, right? So, the whole group is in agreement on this is a good approach. Can we go to the next slide, please? So what else is going to happen then? So in order to, which is kind of phase 3, to complete everything evolved around this renovation will require us to update the toilet room and shower that's there, but doesn't quite meet ADA compliance today. And the expansion is probably only about this much, but to get the handrails and everything to the size that's required, that needs to be expanded some. We're gonna remove the labs, cabinetry, which is actually, I think, probably gonna happen in the 2A, so I apologize here. We're gonna put in a couple new walls and we'll do the soundproofing and everything because that'll be adjacent to the interview rooms and stuff. And we've learned from the health center that soundproofing is important and as a consideration. So along with the soundproofing, the recommendation is to get a couple of those, 1 or 2 or 3 of the very inexpensive white noise machines. So that's really immaterial. Then there's gonna also be, there's a storage room today next to this toilet shower facility. And the idea is that storage room will really become kind of a room that will have some lockers in there to allow the fire staff and any other, emergency people, if they need to do any decontamination, they can strip down the contaminated materials that they have. And, there's lockers they could put them in, they'll have the bags and everything. And maintain that there, then they can go right into the shop, into that shower room and clean up. So that'll require building this new wall, so. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I saw that. That's what we have. They're anticipating that the additional funds will be between $30,000 to $40,000 that we don't have today. So what we're proposing is to move forward with phase 2. And then allow the committee and some other individuals who aren't directly involved, go to the community and and solicit funds for this additional work. So the phase 3 work is not being requested today. We want to lay out the whole program. But if you can go back to phase 2, what we are suggesting and proposing to the select board to approve phase 2.
2 and 2A or just 2?
Having training center space. Just 2.
I think, 2A is tied in with phase 2, because we have to move the kitchen equipment from the existing training room into what used to be the lab.
Correct, but that's,
In order to
yeah,
expand the training room.
yes,
So that's all part of one.
right. But so we're moving, but all that is being moved into that, but it's temporary is the point. So we're gonna have a temporary kitchen,
A working temporary kitchen?
a working temporary kitchen.
Do
In
you
the
have plans? I need to see this. Do you have plans?
I think that's.
Okay, we'll need to make copies.
It's,
I have made drawings all over the place,
Oh, okay.
notes on mine, so. So the proposal is, we're asking the select board to approve us spending the remaining of the 61,558 to set up the training room and what we've outlined. So I'm open for comments, or Mert, if you want to add to that.
No, you pretty much covered it. Like you say, it's just. Phase 2 is basically the training room area. That we need to work on now, the 3 way and 3 is additional. When funds are in.
So. If we do approve phase 2 and you
Yep.
expend your remaining balance. you're feeling pretty confident you can get the rest of this?
We have talked to people and there's support for it.
Okay. But just because I would hate to see it, like you go launch into phase two, spend all the money on that and then find out you actually can't complete the.
Well, yeah, and that's a good point, and I don't want to, I mean, there's no guarantee, obviously, so, but what happens here is our key personnel have great offices.
Right.
They will now have a great training facility. And then we need to finish out a clean, you know, a shower area for them and a kitchen area.
Right.
But the training area is really kind of key for the project.
For clear, the training room also doubles as the EOC if we have any major incident also, correct? Or no?
No, all phase three.
I didn't-
Is the training room doubling as an EOC for big incidents? Also, or is the EOC a different room?
I think that's a different room.
I meant if we just do phase two.
Yeah, near this EOC area is gonna be across the hallway from the radio room,
Okay,
just a small little once you see,
So,
when you see the drawings, I think a lot of it.
right.
Click in.
okay, so I'm gonna do kind of a fake here, but anyway. There was some discussion of moving this room initially this way. They realized if they shifted it this way, then Merck's office, the wall and stuff here get taken out. All right, and then the bathroom and the storage area that we're talking about, the bathroom that needs to be expanded some to meet ADA, because it doesn't even meet the previous ADA, is this section. The new kitchen, as you see up in this section, is where that's gonna be proposed. So it's basically taking this whole quadrant and doing some modifications, which was far less expensive than what initially had been proposed.
Oh, interesting.
And they've done a really good job of looking at all the options. The only thing that's holding us up from really giving good numbers on 2A or 3 is we've just engaged discussion with contractors and we don't really have final numbers on, okay, what does it take to expand that one shower toilet facility over a little, which is probably the major aspect. And then we do have some pretty good numbers on the new kitchen, like some cabinetry. The kitchen will be ADA compliant as well. There will be at this side wall up here, an ADA, sink with an island over here, the cooking area with a standard sink against that outside wall. So ADA sink in over here, regular.
Is there any possibility of saving any of the cabinetry that's gonna be removed in order to not have to buy new cabinets and just refinish them?
They've looked at that. The answer on that was no, they were pretty chunky, but
Okay. Yeah, if they're just plywood,
Yeah.
particle board cabinets, then it's
They're
hard to
afraid,
take them off and
yeah.
put them back up, yeah. I don't know if that's what's in there or not, but. Cool. Mark,
Okay.
this is what you like?
Um,
This is what you like and what you agree
Oh,
to?
yeah.
Okay.
Fred, myself, Carrie, have proved what's presented in front of us. Like Steve said, the new bathroom area, there was like 3 ideas and we came up with this one to be the most practical layout.
Cool. Great.
so I'd like to propose select board, and please correct language here, but I propose that select board approve the expenditure of the 61,558 funds to be spent on the phase two aspect that we presented, knowing that, you know, we've got to obtain additional funds to finish off the final aspect of the whole renovation.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Thank you.
Good job, Sue.
And big thank you to Laura and Michael for the work that they've done
Oh,
to
yeah.
help with this.
Yeah,
So, Janet, your office is moving over there?
Yeah,
I just wanna know where to find you.
I'm hiding. I'm going into hiding.
All right.
Anything on the Up Island Garage?
oh. The roof's on.
I think it's pretty much closed in.
Did they get the garage doors on? I know the front was all on and it was framed out on the two doors.
And they were pretty near inside, all skinned on the wall.
Oh, good.
I think now it's overhead doors at some point.
They are gonna take there's gonna be not a delay, but
Right, and
they're gonna be gone for a month or two. I don't,
there's an apple. Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you wanna turn. But we're still looking at, you know, the June-ish, June, end of June, July timeframe. So yeah, so that's all I have for that.
Any other questions for Steve? All right, upcoming meetings and subcommittee reports. We've got planning board February 23rd.
I'm sure I do, but I can't think of anything.
Ferry ticket committee also on the 23rd in the morning. Lighthouse committee on the 26th.
Janet, town manager's report.
Okay.
I've given you the January 6th housing committee minutes. January 14th, committee chairs meeting minutes. That was great, Carrie, great job. The 29th of January Lighthouse committee minutes. You already talked about my correspondence with Ken Smith and Jackie Sardi. So handouts, I've given you, Fred has turned in his 2025 incident report. And I don't know if you have any questions, he's usually online, but this is what will go in the town report, where he does this every year and puts things out by category. The Maine Community Foundation, the 2025 year-end health center endowment fund statement with a balance of $1,818,439. And you'll see at the bottom, the amount available for distribution is 63,700. That's what we take for the revenue from the health center each year. That's about around that amount. And the January 31st Bar Harbor Wealth Management Sub-Accounting Capital Reserve statements. And I was just going to give an update on the facilities manager. I just today heard back from Jesse Nash, the engineer who does this structural engineer. And he can come out, he's been sick. So he can come out in April and do the library and the transfer station. He's done this building pretty much, and we can have him look over that again to see if there's anything else, but to see what the needs are, especially for the library, that foundation I know he may have some help or pointers on what to do for that and find somebody to do it, because I haven't been able to get, someone said they would a couple of years ago, and then they just haven't, so. And I saw some notes from the energy. Just those quick notes, the aspects after, and I see they're talking about. Maybe suggesting, I'm not quite sure, that the town hire facilities manager. Cause I know I've asked Bill to help me with the heat pumps, but there's heat pumps in 3 buildings, there's solar panels on 4. All the solar panels need O&Ms, that's operations and maintenance agreements. The heat pumps we need to find someone, some company to service those if they need servicing. So, I mean, it's great to have all these things, but someone's got to manage them and connect all the dots, and so we'll see. If energy committee, if Bill, cause he's right on the solar panels, he knows how much they're working and what they're giving out, and he loves it. We'll see what he comes away with. I'd like to have it all in a spreadsheet. That's it for me.
Questions for Janet? I guess the only question I would have is, I think it's great to have that, sorry, what was his name? Was it
Jesse Nash came originally through Laura Staines and Michael.
Okay, I'm just wondering, and we don't need an answer tonight, obviously, but just if he's coming in April, how we can marry that with the budget process to make sure that we are able to really think through what resources we might need to accomplish the things on his list, and some of the things may be multi-year items, and we may just not be able to do it within the scope of one fiscal year's budget, but I guess that would be my only question as we start to think through this, and as you develop further recommendations on how we get this taken care of.
I could ask him if he could come in March.
Yeah, that would be my only concern, is I would hate to have the budget completely done and then have a bunch of things become clear and not be able to address them properly.
In addition. On that one, that's a good point. The energy committee, I'm sorry, I'm on, what is it, the internet committee or the? Broadband. They have a guy coming out, or we have a guy coming out, that's gonna do a survey inspection of all of the lines and connections and stuff. Probably is a very good idea to have that done prior to the budget, because if they find some major issues, we're gonna have to incorporate them as well. The chairman, who's that? Chair?
Barry Waring.
I think that survey was done.
I think it's
Was it
done.
done?
I was just gonna say.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think it's done. I think that's what I heard Paige say.
All right, cause I had heard it was gonna be done, but I didn't know when, so that's
So
good.
Barry will,
Right.
then, when he gets a report. we Need to do, because they've already submitted their budget, but. And there was talk from GWI. Tina and I were on a Zoom with them. Of them taking over doing our broadband billing. And I said, this sounds too good to be true. What would that cost us? You know, and the gentleman there was supposed to get back to us with some kind of proposal. So I don't know what that would do to their budget either. Barry hadn't heard about it, so. But. See.
Anything else for Janet? All right, no other correspondence that we have not already addressed?
You know, I sent out a copy of this Rockland City Ordinance protecting people's information. And I have never got any response from anybody saying, hot button maybe that. It seemed like a pretty good idea, but what do I know?
I saw that and I liked a lot of it, but I just didn't have anything to offer, because I think we discussed that. for a while here, didn't we? Something similar. and just-
Well, I thought there was a question that Fred raised that. You know, enforcement, I mean, he was very upset about this at one meeting quite a while ago. But I wasn't suggesting that we adopt exactly that ordinance, I just thought. And it may be largely an academic issue, but. You know, that what they did in Rockland was they just said that the tax assessor and the school and others that was the keepers of people's personal information are not authorized to distribute that to anybody else. It sounded to me rather innocuous, but what do we do about that? Anything? I mean, I'm perfectly willing to try and redo the ordinance or something that we could all accept. Do you think it's a good idea?
And we could put it in the. We can put the draft from Rockland in the packet next. At our next meeting and put it on the agenda, just so that, you know, folks
Yeah.
in the public can have a chance to look at it too, and then we can determine next steps.
Right.
Okay.
think we,
Cause I think it might be worth sharing with the school too, cause I think we would wanna, if it is broad enough to encompass non-town related personnel, it would need to be a coordinated effort
Well, I
between.
will make sure that Sky and.
Yeah.
The other members of the school committee go happy with that.
Cool.
we also should include then what existing regulations we already have or don't have.
Yeah.
In the same packet, so we can do a comparison, because I would be surprised if we're not covered under all the HIPAA, PCI. Other data retention laws and that. But it would, we can't compare it. Don't look at that without looking at what we have, is my point.
Understood. Is that something that you and Janet, you feel like you can help pull together the existing policies that we have that would relate to the draft ordinance that?
Yeah, I'll see what that.
Should be data, all the data security.
We don't have a lot really, but like you say, a lot of it is HIPAA. I mean, and I think of most of the health center, but here, I mean, if it's public record,
Well, social security numbers,
oh yeah.
birth dates, all those are not public record. They can be part of a record, but they're not public. And so that's why I want to know what we have.
I mean. Who's a citizen and who isn't? You know,
Oh, God.
This is probably the sensitive question, right?
Well, yeah, but it's also just personal information shouldn't be, cannot
No,
be distributed.
exactly.
So, yeah, it's not,
That's why I said I thought it was an document.
Right, but I think it's a good point to understand what are the things that are currently on
Yeah.
the books so that we can strengthen what we have if we need to.
Right.
it's time to do it.
Great. Thank you for raising that again. New business liquor license for Blue Spoon Catering. I didn't see anything about this in our packet. Did I miss that?
It's on the backside of things.
Yeah, I did it two-sided, I
It
think.
looks like it's all there then.
Yeah, it's only 4 pages.
It's a private
Oh,
corporation
right.
that
Yeah.
is doing it.
But this is like,
Minot Island.
like we did for
What island?
Parateen.
So,
It's
What
already
is-
been approved by the state. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
they're sending these out as complimentary to towns. And then however you vote on it, or whatever you agree. Then I go back and email that it was approved on this date or denied, I guess, but there's nothing,
is there a reason, I mean, typically we have not been asked to approve liquor licenses for private events, so I'm just
It
wondering.
came to me from
Why?
the state. So they're determining that since it's Minot Island is Islesboro.
It may be just because they have an outside contractor.
And maybe they want you to
More
know.
thorough that they're more,
According
okay,
to, they use the juice.
I don't think that they're a main company.
Mm,
When I was the super quick Google search I did. So they probably filed all of their stuff the way that they do in New York where they're from. And then it ended up rolling back down to us.
Oh,
Cause we don't do it for weddings or anything else.
I mean, I don't have an issue approving it if they feel like they need it and the state has approved it for a one-time event. That's,
That was the part that I was, cause it's only for the one time.
Correct.
Okay, that was.
we're not, yeah,
one
we're
thing I
not,
wanted to
we're not
make sure.
creating a.
Yeah.
I'm not making a business right now.
We could go to Minot Island. Eat and drink.
Yeah, we approved it, we can do whatever we want, or if we approve it. I don't know.
All right, are there any other questions on the
No, we're
application?
alcohol free, everything.
Good.
West of Brackett
So my-
Channel is still
Okay, we have a motion to approve the application. Do I have a second?
second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is to discuss the select board policies on the sealed bid process. I think you are forwarded the message that we received from Harriet from the Energy Committee, just with questions or concerns about the mechanics of doing a sealed bid process for some of the solar projects in particular. And asked if it was something that we could change. And Janet, it sounds like you had reached out to Kristen Collins to understand what other towns had done. Do you want to kind of speak a little bit to that?
For the municipalities she's working with, including the biggest, bids are still submitted by mail with an official bid opening. I'm not sure what the proper safeguards would be. Mostly Harriet must have mentioned some, maybe like what Steve was talking about, something. I'm sure there is software out there to create the double line security needed to ensure against unfair dealing, but I doubt that's something the town wants or needs to invest in. So.
So it sounds like she had concerns about us changing the policy as written. Yep, go ahead, Melissa.
I think this kind of goes back to what Janet was saying about the heat pumps are great, the sealed bids are great, everything's great, but you constantly have to have the software, the person, everything else to do it. Our system isn't broken. I don't see a reason to change it. They can mail it or they can miss out. Is my stance on it. Because we are worried that we're starting to outkick our coverage. We can do all the cool things that all the big kids are doing, but we're not a big kid. We're still a very small municipality that needs to focus on what we are, as opposed to trying to grow and reach stuff that we're not. And so,
I do, I live on bids. You could have Brian have a separate, mailbox that's dedicated to bids. He's the only one who can open it. You can do it all electronically without any additional work. But for the number of bids we get, I still deal with large states like Maryland stuff. You have to submit it in mail. And we had a big one that FedEx had a huge storm in Kentucky, wherever it was in Nashville, and our bid didn't get delivered in time. It was our problem. So I agree with this. So let's just pick this, say we're not changing this. Because how many do we get bids to get a year?
Well, the town normally, 3 or 4, I don't know what all the ones are that the energy are
All right, let's say it's
going
10.
forward.
It's like, deal with it.
is it worth getting the software, the training and everything else? And then it also, having Brian be the one that's the point person doesn't eliminate, but it compounds the issue of having an energy committee that's supposed to be receiving the bids, doing the bids, bringing it to us. Cause now you're adding more work into Brian, and Brian has a lot of work that he does phenomenally if Brian is listening. Thank
Yeah.
you, Brian.
I mean, I definitely understand their concerns about, well, I think their bid process is just slightly different than a lot of the bids that come directly to us.
Mhm.
And that it needs additional analysis. And it may be that it requires multiple meetings in order to award the bid. They have to be opened in one and awarded in another, which I understand is additional meetings, but I think I agree that given the size and the number of bids that we have, it may just be unfortunately, the a bit of a pain point that we might have to
Yeah, I
deal
mean,
with.
if they have a problem, like if they have 5 people on the board, then they should say you need to provide one marked original, 4 copies. Because all of ours get distributed to multiple people, because ours are 300 or 400 pages, so they read certain sections. They create, they grade those sections, so it's just not an issue.
Yeah, I would be strongly supportive of sticking with what we have. Just mostly because I just personally in my life, I've heard. After previous bidding processes from contractors that they've given me the response, like, yeah, well, of course they gotta be open to that. So if we eliminate some step of this transparency process, I think we might wind up causing even more perceived sour. I've tried to explain to these people time and time again that that's not what happens. They can come to the meetings to see what it really does, but I think we'd be wise to make sure whatever we're doing, we keep it in the public light as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I'd say we stick with what we do.
Any thoughts, Peter?
No, I think it sounds like. What fix for ain't broke.
Do we need a motion?
Okay.
Or just, no, we've discussed it.
Yeah, I don't think,
Okay,
I think that we've discussed it, Jen, or would you want to make a motion?
No, I just have one last thought.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know anything about the energy committee's bylaws or how their processes work. Is there a way that we can kind of guide them into a more streamlined process for them that adheres to how we do things here? Do we have, I mean, if they're sort of act as a committee of the town, if they have some convoluted process and they're struggling with it, can we find a way to help them? Call me on what to do.
I'll be glad to talk to them.
I don't know, I genuinely. just don't know
Literally,
what to
it's one of the few areas I would say I'm close to an expert on.
do. Yeah, no, and I know nothing.
You know.
about it.
Get that-
That and opening wine bottles, I mean, don't put that in the notes.
Okay. But Harry would be the one.
All right, I'll talk to
Yeah.
Harry.
Yeah, this,
So you'll follow up with
I
her,
will follow up.
great.
If they're struggling with it, we can try to engage.
Yeah, no,
But I don't think we need to reinvent.
But like Shay said, that's a good point. There
Yeah.
are more, yeah, and they need to, Janice Petzelcar does a lot of the reading and Cressica. But. Good.
All right, thank you, it's good to discuss it. No other business, next up is to approve warrant number 17 for FY 26.
So moved.
Second,
You had to get in.
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Yes. I made the motion, that should be given.
No appointments tonight. And I don't have any further comments tonight. Pete?
Good luck to the kids in Augusta tomorrow and congrats to our athletes in Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Got things in what?
Italy.
The Olympics. Oh,
Yes.
There's
the Olympics. Right, yeah.
Or the-
our flag bearer went to UMaine, Oregon.
How
Yes.
is that?
There's
Now we
7
should
from
bring
UMaine.
legs.
Our men's hockey goalie went to UMaine.
Yeah.
Right, Travis Slayman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also he's a snowboarder from Sugarloaf,
Oh, right.
West,
the Moose,
not Westcott. That's West,
Wes Mose.
Westcott, Seth Westcott.
No, his last name is Morris. They call him the Moose. It's all that I know, but he had a big polling, there was a really nice article in the paper about all of the athletes from Maine, whether they were from Maine or if they were from UMaine, that had gone over, and there was 7 from UMaine alone and 5 of the 7 have medaled. And so I thought that was really cool. I am an Olympic buff, so that's the one thing that asked me.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Are there, do you have any further comments tonight, or does that conclude your comments?
Give her a score.
All right, I know you've got comments, go ahead.
Maybe.
Send us out of here.
All right, in an effort to try and both accelerate and broaden the concern for increasing both the quantity and pace of the construction, design and construction of affordable housing on Islesboro. We had convened the chairman of the housing committee, Mike Nelson. Steve and I attended one of these meetings. You would have all been invited, but I was told by Shay it was going to be a public meeting if we did that. Mike Nelson is also about, I believe, to become the chairman of IIP.
Ooh,
Now,
very careful with that announcement.
oh, okay, well, there is a possibility, anyway, he's on the IIP committee. And Tom Tudor as the chairman of the Islesboro Economic Sustainability Committee, upon which I serve as a regular member. That was the group, and a representative of the school committee. We've now met 2 or 3 times to discuss how we can create some semblance of a partnership of these different committees and organizations with a very strong position that IAP is the only organization on this island that is actually capable of building new housing and has the experience, and we are not in any shape, manner, or form trying to replace them, just to support that effort and hopefully accelerate the pace of construction. And from that meeting, we suggested that perhaps the town contributing in the budget a relatively modest amount of money, like somewhere $10,000 or $15,000, to establish the idea that the town itself was going to contribute to this effort. Again, not in any way meaning to under compromise IAP's capabilities or authority, in effect, to build new houses. So what I'm proposing is that at the next meeting, we will have a resolution that includes somewhere between like $15,000 in the town budget to support affordable housing. And one idea that was thrown out was that that might, not meaning to in any way, impact Pete Anderson's role as IAP, but a clerk of the works or a coordinator that would actually facilitate in a much more construction management sense the what prior to this has been done mostly pro bono as a way of greasing the wheels. And so this is a heads up that I would like to come to our next meeting with a proposal. And I want, obviously, if anybody has any comments, by the way, IESC, Tom Tudor, the chairman, has considerable funds that they would match or exceed this amount in contributing to this effort. They have no capability. They don't want to be landlords. They don't want to get into become in any way eclipse what IAP is doing, but would like to contribute. And I think I've talked to Ned Treslow, who's the development person with IAP, and Hayden Ladd, who's their treasurer. They have also been brought up to speed and are very enthusiastic about this idea. So it is like baby steps into creating a public-private partnership to support the work that IAP is doing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's possible to get something in writing, I think the more information we have to inform the discussion ahead of our next meeting is great.
Great.
Put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody have any comments or suggestions or anything else? Well, onward and upward.
Well, not quite
I
yet.
will say, that the apparently there are now 5 teacher positions that are open in the school. And there's been some, and I'm not up to speed on this controversy over the magnet program, but the way to address the diminishing school population most immediately is to increase the number of magnet students. It's not building new houses for people who are gonna have babies. Will be going to school 5 years from now. I mean, we need to do something right away, and I feel it's personally, this is the most critical issue facing the island of Islesboro in our community, is if the school dies, we're in terrible shape.
Peter, the magnet program coordinator is in the room.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you wanna
Yeah,
suggest?
I talked to Jennifer about this today.
He's not the magnet school.
No, I know, but, the way, anyway, what I said to her was that any way we can support your efforts. I mean, I think it's absolutely critical.
Great.
Not only do we not wanna, we want to include you in this discussion, we want to support you in any way we can.
Sounds
We need
good.
kids.
Yep. Yeah, so thank you for your efforts to get to attract them here to the island. All right, with that, we will end our regular meeting. We do have 2 executive sessions to attend to. So I would entertain a motion to enter executive session to consider concealed weapon permit renewal application.
Do we have to leave our weapons outside?
You're not funny.
I swear.
It's a move.
Second. All those in favor?
I,
Aye, at 6:22.
I'm gonna go find Tweet.
Hmm.
Use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay,
And so, give everybody time to clear out. I will look and see if she's there.
thank you to everybody who joined
No,
me
not
Zoom
yet.